Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Awful lot of it. Awful lot of it. Like all the way to the bottom. A lot of it, you hear me?
Right now, a man is behind bars facing a capital murder charge in the shooting that killed a local rapper and his 5-year-old daughter. The Texas Rangers arrested Adonis Robinson about an hour outside of Houston yesterday. Investigators identified him using this video from a Forest Hill car wash earlier this week. It shows Ronnie Sibley, known as Lil Ronnie, trying to get away while being shot at. His daughter was also in the car. Police are still looking for another suspect.
On March 3rd, 2025, at around 10:49 a.m., G Lil Ronnie, whose real name was Ronnie Smith, drove to Slappy's Express Car Wash in Forest Hill, Texas. He was inside his car with his 5-year-old daughter, Romani. Other customers were at the car wash, cleaning their vehicles and talking. Everything was normal. A white Kia pulled up near Ronnie's car. 2 men got out of the vehicle. They were wearing dark clothing and masks. They walked directly toward Ronnie's car. Without speaking, they took out their guns and started shooting. Multiple bullets hit the car. They continued firing, making sure Ronnie and Romani were shot. After the attack, the gunmen quickly ran back to their car, got inside, and drove away from the scene. Customers at the car wash ran for cover. Some people called 911. When police arrived, they found Ronnie and Romani inside the car with gunshot wounds. Both were pronounced dead at the scene. The attackers had already escaped. Ronnie Smith was a 29-year-old rapper from Texas. He was known as G Lil Ronnie and had gained popularity in the local music scene. He had released songs and worked with other artists. His daughter, Romani, was 5 years old. She was with her father at the car wash when the attack happened. Police investigated why Ronnie Smith was targeted. They looked into possible personal disputes, gang-related violence, or other criminal connections. No official motive was confirmed. Detectives continued questioning individuals connected to the case. Police reviewed security footage from the car wash. The video showed the 2 masked men carrying out the attack. Detectives also spoke to witnesses, who described seeing the suspects flee the scene. The footage and witness statements helped police identify 2 suspects, Adonis Robinson, 24, and Jacoby Russell, 21. Adonis Robinson was a convicted sex offender. He had recently been released from prison. Jacoby Russell was known to have a criminal record as well. Based on the evidence, police issued arrest warrants for both men. Police tracked Adonis Robinson to Livingston, Texas. He was arrested and taken into custody. Jacoby Russell remained at large. Law enforcement officials released his information to the public and asked for help in finding him. The case remained open. Authorities continue to search for Jacoby Russell. The police urged the public to report any sightings or information that could help locate him. Investigators were also working to determine if other people were involved in planning the attack. 1 suspect was in custody, and another was still missing. The police were continuing their investigation. The motive behind the attack was still unclear. The case of G Lil Ronnie and his daughter Romani remain under investigation as authorities work to gather more details and bring all responsible individuals to justice. Many of you enjoy our true crime stories, but haven't subscribed yet. If you find our content engaging and insightful, please consider subscribing to our channel. Your support not only encourages us, but also helps spread awareness and make a difference in people's lives. Welcome to True Crime Tales, where we uncover the stories that lurk in the shadows, the crimes that shake communities, the betrayals no one saw coming, and the horrifying truths hidden behind closed doors. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss the twists, the revelations, and the chilling reality of the cases we bring to you every day. Now, let's begin. G Lil Ronnie, whose real name was Ronnie Smith, was a rapper from Texas. He was a rising star in the music industry. He had been making music for many years and was working hard to become famous. People liked his songs because they told real stories about life, struggles, and success. His lyrics spoke about growing up in tough neighborhoods and trying to make a better life. Ronnie started rapping when he was a teenager. He would write his own songs and perform them for friends and family. Over time, his music got better, and people started to notice him. He recorded his songs and shared them on social media. Soon, his fan base began to grow. Many people related to his music, and he became well known in the Texas rap scene. His biggest hit song was hood fame Killuminati. This song got a lot of attention and made more people listen to his music. He collaborated with other rappers, including Go Yayo and Soulja Boy. His songs were played in clubs, on the radio, and on streaming platforms. He was gaining more fans every day. Even though Ronnie was becoming famous, he was not just focused on music. He was also a father. His 5-year-old daughter, Romani, was the most important person in his life. No matter how busy he was, he always made time for her. People who knew Ronnie said he was a good father. He spent a lot of time with his daughter. He would take her to fun places, buy her toys, and make sure she was always happy. He often shared pictures and videos of them together. In these videos, they would be laughing, singing, and playing. Ronnie wanted to give Romani a good life. He worked hard so she would have everything she needed. He dreamed of a future where he could provide a big house and the best education for her. He did not want her to struggle like he did when he was growing up. Even though Ronnie made music about real-life struggles, he kept his daughter away from anything dangerous. He wanted her to grow up safe and happy. Romani was a 5-year-old girl full of energy and happiness. She was just starting her life and had many dreams. She loved playing with dolls, watching cartoons, and singing songs with her dad. She liked to dress up and pretend to be a princess. People who knew her said she was always smiling. She was kind and playful. She loved being around her family and friends. She also loved her dad very much. Whenever Ronnie was around, she would run to him and hug him. She felt safe and happy with him. They had a strong bond, and she enjoyed spending time with him. Romani was at the beginning of her life. She had big dreams, and she was excited about the future. No one could have imagined that her life would be cut short so soon. On the morning of March 3rd, 2025, it was just another normal day. Ronnie and Romani woke up, got dressed, and decided to go to Slappy's Express Car Wash in Forest Hill, Texas. Ronnie wanted to clean his car, and Romani, as always, wanted to be with her dad. It was a simple plan, just a regular errand. The car wash was busy with people going about their day. Some were vacuuming their cars. Others were using water hoses, and a few were talking and laughing. The sun was shining, and everything seemed peaceful. Ronnie parked his car, stepped out, and started cleaning. Romani sat in the car, watching her dad and playing with her toys. Everything seemed fine. It was just an ordinary day, but that peace would not last. At exactly 10:49 a.m., a white Kia pulled into the car wash. 2 men wearing masks stepped out of the vehicle. They walked toward Ronnie's car, unnoticed at first. Then, in an instant, everything changed. Gunshots rang out. Panic spread through the car wash. People screamed and ran for cover. Ronnie and his daughter were caught in the middle of a deadly attack. Within seconds, the masked men jumped back into the Kia and sped away, disappearing just as quickly as they had arrived. Silence followed. The once busy car wash was now a crime scene. Ronnie and Romani were left lifeless. No one could believe what had just happened. Why was Ronnie targeted? Why was an innocent child caught in the attack? Who were the gunmen, and what was their motive? This was not just a tragic accident. It was a planned attack. But why? The police arrived at the scene just minutes after the shooting. The car wash was now a crime scene, and officers quickly taped off the area. People who had been there were still in shock. Some were hiding behind cars, afraid to come out. Others stood frozen, trying to understand what had just happened. The first thing the officers did was check on the victims. G Lil Ronnie and his daughter, Romani, were inside the car. They had been shot multiple times. The paramedics arrived, but it was too late. There was nothing they could do. Ronnie and his daughter did not survive the attack. Now, the police had one job: to find out who did this and why. Investigators began searching for evidence. They looked at the bullet casings on the ground. They examined the car for damage. Every bullet hole told a story. The police took pictures of everything. They needed to gather as much information as possible. Next, they searched for security cameras. Most businesses have cameras to watch what happens around them. The car wash was no different. The officers checked the surveillance footage to see if the attack was recorded. If they could see the shooters, they could identify them. One of the officers played the footage on a screen. The video showed everything. At exactly 10:49 a.m., a white Kia pulled into the car wash. Two men stepped out of the car. They were wearing masks to hide their faces. They walked straight toward Ronnie's vehicle. Then they started shooting. The attack lasted only a few seconds. The gunmen fired multiple shots, then ran back to their car and drove away quickly. The video did not show their faces clearly, but it gave the police important clues. Now, the officers had a key piece of evidence, the getaway car. The police needed more details. They turned to the people who had been at the car wash. Officers asked them what they saw and heard. One man said, "I was vacuuming my car when I heard gunshots. I looked up and saw two men shooting into the car." Another witness said, "I saw them run back to a white Kia. They got in fast and drove off." A woman who had been near the entrance said, "I couldn't see their faces, but they were wearing dark clothes." The officers wrote everything down. Every small detail could help them find the killers. Now, they had a description of the suspects. Two men, wearing masks and dark clothes, driving a white Kia. The police put out an alert. They told other officers to look for a white Kia matching the description. As the investigation continued, detectives ran checks on security cameras from nearby streets. They needed to find out where the white Kia went after shooting. After reviewing more footage, they saw the car driving toward the highway, but they still didn't know who was inside. The next step was checking police records. Did anyone in the area own a white Kia? Did anyone with a criminal past have a car like that? The officers searched their database and found a match. The car was linked to a man named Adonis Robinson. He had been in prison before and had a history of violence. The police now had a suspect, but Adonis was not alone. Witnesses had said there were two shooters. Who was the second man? After more investigation, another name appeared, Jacoby Russell. He was a known associate of Adonis. The two had been involved in crimes before. Now, the police had two names. But there was one problem. Both men had disappeared. With the suspects identified, the police started searching for them. They sent officers to Adonis Robinson's last known address. But he was not there. They checked his family's home. Nothing. Next, they searched for Jacoby Russell. He was missing too. The police put out arrest warrants for both men. Their names and faces were shared with law enforcement across Texas. If anyone saw them, they were to be arrested immediately. Days passed, but there was no sign of them. The police searched everywhere. Then, a breakthrough came. A tip led them to a small town called Livingston, Texas. Officers went to a house where Adonis Robinson was hiding. They surrounded the house and ordered him to come out. After a few minutes, he surrendered. He was arrested and taken into custody. But there was still one problem. Jacoby Russell was still on the run. The search continued. The police asked for help from the public. They released his photo and asked people to call if they saw him. The investigation was not over yet. The police needed to catch the second suspect and find out why these men targeted G Lil Ronnie. The case was far from closed. The murder of G Lil Ronnie and his daughter Romani was not random. It was planned. But the big question remained. Why? Police began looking at different reasons why Ronnie was attacked. Was it a personal issue? Was it gang-related? Or was it something else? Investigators had to dig deep to find out the truth. One of the first things police checked was whether Ronnie had any personal enemies. Did he have problems with anyone? Did he argue with someone recently? Ronnie was known as a peaceful person. He focused on his music and his daughter. He did not go looking for trouble. However, sometimes problems can come even if someone is not looking for them. Investigators talked to Ronnie's family and friends. They wanted to know if he had been threatened before. Some people close to him said he never mentioned any threats, but others said that being a rapper could bring danger. In the music industry, rivalries can turn violent. Could this have been a case of someone targeting him because of his success? If Ronnie had an issue with someone, that person could have wanted revenge. But there was no clear evidence of a personal vendetta. Another theory police consider was gang involvement. Many rappers have connections to gangs, either through their past or through the people they know. Ronnie was from Texas, a place where gang activity is common. Some rappers get caught in gang conflicts, even if they do not want to be involved. Police checked if Ronnie was part of any gang. There was no strong proof that he was, but that didn't mean gangs were not involved. Sometimes, rappers become targets simply because of who they associate with. If Ronnie had friends or fans connected to a gang, another gang might have seen him as an enemy. There was also the possibility that the killers were hired. Sometimes, gangs take money to attack someone. If this was the case, who paid them and why? Investigators checked Ronnie's past, his lyrics, and his social media posts. They looked for clues that might show he was in a dispute with a gang. But again, there was no solid evidence. Another possibility was that this attack started as a robbery. Maybe the killers wanted to steal something, but things got out of control. However, this theory was weak. The gunmen did not take anything. They did not demand money, jewelry, or a car. They came, shot, and left. It did not look like a robbery. It looked like a planned hit. One thing was clear. The attack was not random. The killers knew where to find Ronnie. They went to the car wash at the exact time he was there. This suggested that someone told them where he would be. Did the attackers follow him that morning? Or did someone close to Ronnie give them information? Police looked at phone records and social media posts. They checked if Ronnie posted his location before the attack. Sometimes, people share their locations online without realizing the danger, but nothing was found. So, how did the killers know where he would be? That question remained unanswered. Another big question was whether Ronnie knew the men who attacked him. If he did, why would they want to harm him? One of the suspects, Adonis Robinson, had a criminal record. He had just been released from prison. The second suspect, Jacoby Russell, was still on the run. Both men had been in trouble with the law before. Police investigated whether Ronnie had met them before. They checked if they had any past issues. If Ronnie knew them, it could mean this was personal. But so far, there was no proof that Ronnie had any connection to them. If he did not know them, then someone else must have sent them. But who? The police had many questions. Who gave the killers information about Ronnie's location? Was this revenge, or was it a message to someone else? If Ronnie was not part of a gang, why did this happen to him? The investigation continued, but the answers were not easy to find. One thing was certain. G Lil Ronnie and his daughter were killed on purpose. The attack was planned, but the real reason behind it was still a mystery. The news of G Lil Ronnie's death spread quickly. People were shocked. No one could believe that Ronnie and his 5-year-old daughter, Romani, were gone. The car wash where the shooting happened was now covered in police tape. Officers were investigating, and people gathered around, trying to understand what had happened. Ronnie's family was heartbroken. His relatives could not believe that he was no longer alive. His aunt, Stella Houston, spoke to reporters. She said, "He was a good father. He loved his daughter. He did not deserve this." Romani's mother was devastated. She had lost her little girl. People in the neighborhood remembered Romani as a happy child who always smiled. They could not understand why anyone would harm a little girl. Fans of Ronnie were also in shock. Many had followed his music career for years. They knew how hard he worked to become successful. They admired him for his talent and dedication. Now he was gone, and they would never hear new music from him again. Social media was flooded with messages. People posted pictures and videos of Ronnie and his daughter. They wrote messages like, "Rest in peace, Ronnie and Romani. You will never be forgotten. Justice must be served. The killers cannot get away with this. This is so sad. He was a good man and a great artist." Ronnie was well known in the Texas rap scene. Other rappers who had worked with him were also heartbroken. Some of them posted tributes to him. His friend and fellow artist, Go Yeo, said, "We lost a real one today. This don't make no sense." Soulja Boy, another rapper who had collaborated with Ronnie, tweeted, Rest in peace, G Lil Ronnie. You had so much talent. This is a tragedy. Many people in the music industry spoke about how talented Ronnie was. They said he had a bright future. Some believed that he was close to becoming a big star. They could not believe that his life was cut short in such a violent way. The people in Forest Hill, Texas, were angry. They wanted answers. Who killed Ronnie and Romani? Why did this happen? They wanted the police to find the killers and make sure they were punished. Many people questioned whether this tragedy could have been avoided. Ronnie had no idea that morning that he was in danger. If the attackers had been stopped earlier, could he and Romani have been saved? The case also raised concerns about violence in the rap industry. Many rappers have been targeted in recent years. Some say that more protection is needed for rising artists. Others believe that better community safety measures could help prevent crimes like this. With one suspect arrested and another still at large, the case was not yet closed. Police continue their search. But would they catch Jacoby Russell? Would the full truth about the attack ever come out? Ronnie and Romani's family wanted answers. They wanted justice for the innocent lives lost that day. The community also wanted closure. But until the second suspect was caught and the full story was revealed, the case remained open. The world was left waiting for justice. If you found this story as gripping and heartbreaking as we did, don't forget to like this video and share it with others. And if you want to hear more true crime stories that uncover the mysteries behind these tragic events, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. You won't want to miss our latest stories, updates, and discussions. Thank you for joining us on this journey to seek justice and explore the truth. Together, we can make a difference. Until next time, stay safe and stay aware.